Hey Anderson, have you heard about a British tourist who was charged $2 just for cutting a sandwich in half at Italian cafe?
No, I didn't hear about that. That's kind of weird. Why would they do that?
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's jump right in.
Hey everybody, CrossTalk FM is an English and Japanese bilingual freestyle podcast. In this podcast, we explore some cross-cultural themes and trends. I'm Andrea.
Hi, I'm Tomoya. このポッドキャストは英会話スクール&カフェを運営しているトモヤとアンドリアが毎週自分たちの周りで起きたことや海外のニュースについて英語と日本語でカジュアルに話している番組です。今回のニュースなんですけどもインターネットで見たんですが
I didn't see it.
Okay, so じゃあちょっと説明していきましょうか少し。
Yes, please.
So a British tourist in Italy was charged $2 for cutting a sandwich in half at a cafe. The tourist just wanted to share the sandwich with his girlfriend, but he found a mysterious service, divisio a meter. Maybe my pronunciation is wrong.
Divisio, I don't know what meta means, but divisio, I mean like divide,
Maybe.
Cut something.
Yes. At the price of €2, actually, was listed on the receipt.
Okay.
And the owner explained it was for extra effort and dishes used. So he wrote bad comments on TripAdvisor, and the story went viral.
Okay.
The owner said the customer should complain in person to avoid such a fees.
Oh, so if the customer had complained in person, maybe the store would have taken the fee off?
Yeah, that's what news says.
Okay, that's interesting to know.
So, まあ、イタリアで、イギリスのツアリストの人が、そこでサンドイッチを2つにね、カットしてくださいってね、言ったら、まあ、それで、2ドル、まあ2ユーロかな、チャージされて、それをちょっと、まあ店を出た後に、まあ旅行サイトかどこかの掲示板に、このお店はちょっとダメだよ、みたいな、こんなことがあったぜ、とのレシートと一緒に、まあ投稿、悪いレビューを投稿したら、その一気にレビュー、その行為というか、そのサンドイッチになんで2ドルも払うんだみたいなところがこう炎上していったわけですね。Okay, what do you think about this topic?
Well, it's kind of... I guess it could be controversial. Because I don't think that's something that most people feel it's okay to pay. However, like in America, a lot of restaurants, for example, in my neighborhood, we're kind of in a trendy neighborhood that it was just where people have houses. But then maybe 15, 20 years ago, we started to get a lot of bars and cafes and like small restaurants coming into the area. And a lot of the restaurants, because they were new, they were not able to get liquor licenses, so they couldn't sell alcoholic drinks. However, you can take your own alcoholic drink in, but if you want to have it opened by the staff, like if you need a wine opener or you want to use their wine glasses, they would charge you $10.
$10
Yeah.
for just opening up a bottle of a cap.
Yeah, that you bring in yourself. However, the difference is they tell you in advance. So they'll have it like on the menu or on the website. You can bring your own wine, but there's a $10 opening fee or bottle charge, they call it. So I think if you know in advance, maybe then people can decide to do it or not to do it. But like this couple, they were from Britain, they were traveling through Europe, through Italy, and maybe they didn't know like the Italian cafe rules, I guess.
もしかしたらこれはちょっとそのお店だけの、特殊なものかもしれないですけど。
Maybe, but I doubt it. I've heard of some shops doing this actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of unique service. I mean, it's not a service maybe, but
it is a service, yeah. But I think like from the customer's point of view, from the customer standpoint, they probably feel like they're getting ripped off. Especially if it's not on the menu or there's no sign, or if they ask, okay, please cut this sandwich in half, and then the staff doesn't tell them, I can do that, but it will be $2 or €2. If they don't have that information, I think they would feel like they're being ripped off.
So this is like a hidden cost.
Yeah, yeah.
But from the restaurant owner's point of view, as the news says, it's an extra work.
Yeah.
And they used extra dishes for him.
Sure, they use extra dishes, which, in Europe, they don't have a lot of water. There's a water shortage. And so they're using extra water to have to wash the extra dishes. And
yeah. And what if, many other customers said kind of same thing.
Right.
Can you cut this sandwich in half?
Right.
And 10 people said at same time.
Right. Right, right.
It's literally an extra work.
Right. I was going to say it's actually work for the staff. It's extra work for the staff. Yeah, that's true. So from the restaurant's point of view, it's actually, a cost that they kind of want to charge, probably.
Right. そうですね。
Yeah.
こんな風にちょっと、どっちが正しいということもないと思うんですけども。
I think it's a communication problem.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And there's a 2-point
Okay.
to discuss about this kind of incident, trouble.
Okay.
It's one of it is miscommunication, as you said, and one is this tourist, post a bad review after he left the restaurant.
Okay.
So he didn't do communication either.
Right. Not with the staff at the time. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a very good point, actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of ridiculous. The owner said, if he talked to me indirectly, the extra service fee would be reduced, punished, or
Okay, like removed or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but this tourist didn't say anything, but he wrote bad review, and it went viral.
Yeah, but I think like in the current age, like in the age that we're living in, because everything is digitalized, everything's online, and like social media is open for everyone to see, I think restaurants and business owners have to consider that. Like they have to consider, what would I do if someone writes a bad review? Like they have to have it in their mind that it might happen,
確かにね。
Yeah.
それはちょっとポイントですね。That's a good point. I have heard different news
Okay.
that a famous YouTuber or influencer was contacted to a hotel
Okay.
to reduce their staying fee because they are famous. And she got refused.
Okay.
And then she posted how bad this hotel is.
But you didn't stay there, so it's not actually a proper review, in my opinion. If you didn't actually stay there.
そうですね。なんで
Also, that's definitely overprivileged.
そういう
If you're famous and you're a YouTuber, you should be able to pay for your own hotel.
そういう私がフェイマスな有名なインフルエンサーだからこのちょっとホテル代とかサービスしてよっていうねいうニュースはね以前ありましたけども、そういうねそういうのでそのサービスを受けれなくそのディスカウントされなくても文句を言っちゃいけないでしょうっていうね。
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah. That's my opinion, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like that. Personally, I don't like that. Like, oh, I'm famous, or oh, I'm an important influencer, so give me free things. I think you should just pay like everyone else. Why should the hotel have to give you free anything? They didn't ask you to advertise for them. If they ask you to come, like some companies will actually seek out and hire influencers to come and promote their product. That's fine. But the hotel didn't contact her. She contacted them. So she should pay like everyone else.
Okay.
That's just overprivileged.
そうね。
Yeah.
ちょっと自分のことをね、だいぶ高く評価しすぎているというかね、
I think so.
特別視をしすぎているってことですよね。
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, you have to be careful. Like when you're reading reviews, you have to like keep everything with a grain of salt. You have to, take it with a grain of salt. Like not everything is 100% true all the time.
That's good perspective.
Yeah, everyone has different experiences.
Right. We can't trust every single reviews on social media or, on internet.
Right.
なんかレビューで書かれてることが全てじゃないですけどね。
Right, right.
Before this recording started, you said, I went this shop, but review was, someone wrote about review, but
That's right.
Actually it wasn't not that bad.
No, actually, like I went to get some watch batteries replaced at a watch shop. And yeah, I'd read the reviews online. Someone had said that the guy damaged the watch that they had, or that the battery was not good, or like the parking was hard to get into, and like the guy wasn't very friendly. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if this shop is okay. Like there's a lot of kind of so-so reviews, But then I went, the guy, he wasn't very friendly, but I don't care. He was super fast, and it was super cheap, and the parking lot was fine to get in and out of. I didn't have any problem. And I was like, wow, I have to leave this shop a 5-star review now to kind of counteract everyone else's bad reviews, because it was really, really efficient, which is exactly what I needed today.
I see.
And it was cheap too.
Man. You can trust all the reviews. As I say.
You have to be careful, kind of pick and choose, and kind of take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah. So you don't trust all the reviews on internet? I mean, for the services, the shops?
No, because, you have to kind of read things critically also. I read a review. I take my dog to a dog run. We go to several. There's a couple that we go to. And I was reading the review for one of the dog runs that I went to. And someone gave the dog park a really bad review too. And it's a dog park that I go to often. The owners are really, really friendly. They're really friendly to my dog too. And they have really good service. And I was like, why did the person write a bad review? Like, what didn't they like about it? I don't really understand what they didn't like, but it was just really vague. And I didn't really get a clear sense. But they were like, yeah, it was just, like, I didn't really have fun kind of thing. Yeah. But, my dog goes and she has fun every time. So take it with a grain of salt.
Have you ever given up 1 or 2 stars to a restaurant or any other shops?
Not a restaurant, but it was a service. Yes. Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes. It's a delivery service.
Yeah. I remember I gave one star to the shop. I mean, restaurant. The service was really bad, and like everything was really bad, and so I gave 1 star. I don't tell any detail about it.
Okay, you can tell me later. 'Cause now I'm curious. Where was it?
ちょっと
Don't want to go there.
これはないだろうっていうのはやっぱさすがにね。
Yeah.
1 star っていうのはつけますけど。
Yeah, like if the service is bad, like if they forget your order and then they don't apologize, that kind of thing, or if they say something racist because I'm not Japanese. Sometimes it happens.
Yes.
Then that's a 1 star.
でも不思議なことにそのバッドレビューって注目されやすいんですよね、実は。思ったんですけど。
Yes, actually, and like for example, when I'm looking at reviews, I look at both the good and the bad, but I look at the bad first. I want to know what like potential problems there are.
Yes.
I think maybe everyone's the same. You want to know what the problems are.
Yeah, even if it's good product or service, I would definitely check the bad reviews.
Yeah.
Because every service is not perfect.
Right. That's right.
So I want to know like a potential, accidents beforehand.
Right. Exactly. Beforehand. So, okay, maybe this is going to happen. And if this happens, how would I deal with it kind of thing. Yeah.
そうね。
Yeah. I think that's the reason why bad reviews stand out. I don't think it's like people want to read bad things. People are not interested in that, but I think they want to be able to head off or kind of stop problems before they start.
そうね。
Yeah.
だから僕もたまにレビューを書くんですけど、やっぱりさっきも言ったレストランレビューと、あと Amazon でちょっとイヤフォンとかちっちゃい買い物して中国製とかすごい質が悪いもの買ってもうすぐ壊れたりして、
okay.
でこれはもう1スター以下やみたいなちょっともう本当にすぐ壊れたからこれ絶対買わないでくださいみたいな。
Yeah. That's warning someone of a potential problem. Yeah. It's not just you being a jerk or whatever. You're actually trying to warn other customers. So that's fine.
でそのレビューは結構その見られましたよってよく
okay.
来ますね。はい。I want to talk about the art of complaining.
Ooh.
One of our students had trouble at the ramen restaurant.
Okay, and I think you should specify that our student is an adult man. He's not a child.
そうですね。
He's an adult man.
大人の男性の方がちょっとね、あるラーメンのお店でちょっとトラブルがあってしまったんですけども、So he was eating ramen and he found a hair in a bowl of noodle.
Oh no.
So after he found it, he couldn't continue eating it.
Of course not. I think probably anyone would be grossed out. That's pretty gross.
Yes. So he decided just leave the old noodle. Rest of noodle.
Okay.
And he didn't complain directly to the owner.
Okay.
Or tencho, whatever. And he just left.
Okay.
He just left the ramen shop.
And they're probably wondering, like, why didn't he finish his ramen? He's still got like a bunch of noodles and stuff left. Why didn't he eat his food, right? Yeah.
Yes. So after maybe 5 or 10 minutes later, he called the owner and he told the owner that he found a hair in a bowl of noodle. So please be careful about it.
Yeah.
And I would go there again. So,
okay.
But, he didn't ask anything. He didn't apologize or, extra service
wow.
from him.
Okay.
And then he actually did 大人の対応.
Okay. That's pretty impressive, actually.
それを聞いたときに、わ、すごい大人の人だな。
Yeah. That's very cool. Yeah.
パッと見、その人、そういうふうなことをしなさそうな顔をしてちょっと失礼かもしれんけど、まあよく知ってる方なので、
Yeah.
でもすごいなと思ってこの人。
Yeah, I think like in America when that happens, we kind of expect to get free compensation, like either give me the money back for this meal or replace it with a new menu item. Yeah, we expect something. So the fact that he didn't expect anything and he didn't even want an apology, that's really impressive actually. So he was just calling to tell the manager that this happened, that's all. He wasn't trying to get anything from the shop.
No.
Very impressive.
Not at all.
Very impressive.
だから、he just wanted to tell him, it happened.
Okay.
And please be careful.
Cool. Very cool.
And I would go your shop again.
Okay, that's very nice. Even if he doesn't go, even if he never goes again, just to say that is very nice, I think.
So I want to ask you, how do you say 大人の対応 in English? Because I couldn't find it on dictionary.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't probably have a set phrase for this.
Maybe I thought like I could say like adult manner or something.
I think we would tend to say something more like he had a mature response. A mature response.
大人の対応ね.
Yeah.
Mature response.
Yeah, but that being said, it's not a set phrase. But we wouldn't say something like 大人の対応. You'd just say he handled it well also. He handled it well.
Okay.
Or he handled it in a mature way. Yeah, mature is a good word to remember, right? For 大人の.
大人の.
Yeah, mature.
そうですね.
As opposed to like childish. Yeah.
まあそのアマチュアがその逆みたいな意味かな.
Yeah, or childish. Yeah.
Childish.
Yeah.
Mature. Amateur ね.
Yeah.
That's good word to know, I think.
Yeah.
So these kind of hidden costs are everywhere. Like in izakaya, you maybe get charged for tsukidashi.
Okay.
Or otoshi or something.
Otoshi, yeah, otoshi.
Yes.
Yeah. This is actually kind of a problem in Japan because right now there are a lot of foreign tourists coming back to Japan. And a lot of people don't understand this culture of tsukidashi or otoshi, where you don't order the food, but you get food automatically, and then you're expected to pay for it, and it will show up on the receipt. So a lot of people are like, but I didn't order this. I don't want this. This is something I wouldn't eat. But if you try to explain it's otoshi or it's tsukidashi, they get confused and they get kind of angry and like, but I don't want it. I didn't order this. I didn't. If you just say in English, table charge, it's a table charge, then everyone understands and it's fine.
Okay, so everyone is happy.
Yeah, if you say, oh, it's a table charge.
Okay.
And then you happen to get this dish, you don't have to eat it, but you can. But it's basically a table charge.
Okay.
And then everyone's fine.
But usually table charge can't refuse.
Right, you can't refuse it. So that's how like foreign people can understand it and be okay with it. If you say, oh, okay, it's table charge. Okay, got it. If you say, oh, well, you know, you have to order this food that you don't really want, but you have to pay for it, then people get upset, you know. But just say it's a table charge. Yeah.
Yeah,
you can't refuse. You can't refuse it. Kind of, yeah. Well, we have table charges in America. You just don't get any snacks for it. It's literally a fee that you pay for nothing just to use the table.
そうですね。
Yeah. At least in Japan, you get a snack.
In 居酒屋ね。
Yes.
日本でお水くださいって言うと、まあ、ただのお水が、グラスに入ったお水が出てきますよね。
Yeah, tap water. It wouldn't be bottled water. It'd be tap water.
でも、その、オーストラリアでは、なんだろう、お水ください、Can I have a water? みたいなことを言っちゃうと、水、タップウォーターじゃなくて、ちゃんとボトルに入ったウォーターの、とグラスかなんかわかんないけど出てくるから、
Okay.
ちゃんとタップウォーターって言えよって
Okay.
言われたことがありますね。
Okay. I think it's probably the same in America. If you order, most places will give you a water for free, actually. It's tap water that's been chilled with ice. That's usually for free.
あ、そうなんだ。
Yeah. But逆に on the opposite end, if you want a mineral water, you have to say it like a bottle of water or I'd like a mineral water. Otherwise, you get tap water. Probably. I don't know.
タップウォーターね。タップウォーターください。最初タップ、何タップをっていうまあでもタップはこの蛇口から出る。
蛇口ね。
ですけれども、まあそんな hidden cost is everywhere.
Well, yeah, not everywhere, but okay. It's around sometimes, yeah.
みたいなことがありますよね。特に知らない国だとね。
Yeah, that's the thing is shiranai kuni, right? It's a culture that you're not familiar with. So sometimes the different cultures have different standards and different, you know, rules, unspoken rules. Yeah.
This is off the topic, but I didn't know how to pay for a bus fee in Australia.
Okay.
So the first time got on a bus and I came where I wanted to stop.
Okay.
And I followed everyone else and then I just got off.
Okay.
But I didn't pay anything.
Oh.
乗ってそのまま目的地に行ってそのままみんなについて降りていったら
What was everyone else paying with? How were they paying?
Actually, they didn't. They prepaid for bus fee.
Okay. Do they have like a card or something?
I think they had a card.
Okay.
でもそのカードないし疲れてめちゃめちゃ疲れててこれどうやって払うんだなんか言われるだろうなってこう言ってそのバスの入り口のとこまで来たら何も言われなかったから。あれ
I've never done that, I don't think. Yeah.
Sorry. そんなこともありましたけれども、it's a hidden pay system.
Yeah. I haven't done that. I always pay.
まあね、
That was unintentional, though. That was not on purpose.
そう。
Right?
わざとじゃないんです。
Right.
はい。ということもありましたけれども、We talked a lot about what?Like
different cultures,
different cultures,
like communication styles, with hidden costs, and also complaining, writing bad reviews.
Yes, how to complain smartly. How to complain in a smart way.
How to read reviews and not believe everything you say.
そうね。まあ本当に、こんな上手なね、大人の対応したい、行きたいですね、と思いましたが。
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would like to know from our listeners, what are your thoughts on today's topic? We talked mostly probably about like unexpected service charges or like hidden charges. Have you guys ever experienced any hidden charges, either in Japan or overseas? I'd be interested in hearing what you experienced.
So I think I'm starting to double check my receipt from today.
It's not a bad idea. It's a good idea for sure. Yeah, definitely. It's a good idea.
Especially if I travel to other countries.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
Anyway, drop your stories on our socials. Let's get the conversation going.
Yeah, that would be fun. All right, that's all for this episode, guys. But if you like our audio podcast, be sure to subscribe wherever you're listening right now. Also, please do rate and review us. Your rating helps other viewers find our podcast more easily.
And don't forget to catch our after show series, releasing every Friday on both our YouTube channel and podcast platform. It's a bit more casual, bit more personal, and just a bit more fun.
All right, this is CrossTalk signing off, bringing you English your way every week.
Keep listening and keep shining.
Bye.
Bye.